If you're like me and you're creating a new website or editing an existing one, we might have a problem. We don't want people seeing a unfinished website or a broken, incoherent mess that can damage our brand and potentially impact future sales. So to make sure we don't confuse visitors or lose customers, we want to generate a really great coming soon page that people are going to be able to see, engage with us, and also get them to come back at a later date. So come with me and build a coming soon page incredibly quickly and make sure you're not losing customers and not missing out on future sales. This is my website, and while it might look quite nice, there's a problem with this, and the problem is that this, albeit a bearded man, is not me, which means I need to make some changes here, which is completely fine, but this is a reasonably big edit that I need to do. So let's head over to my dashboard, because what we want to do, of course, is do this edit without anybody stumbling across this website that makes no sense and then potentially not coming back. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to head to plugins, to add new plugin, and we are going to install SeedProd. We're going to click on upload plugin just here because we are going to install SeedProd Pro. So let's grab that there, pop that onto there, click on install now. Now that's installed, we're going to go ahead and activate the plugin. Once SeedProd is active, it's going to drop you here to the SeedProd pages page. You can get here on the left hand side by just going to landing pages. SeedProd has a whole bunch of tools, the AI themes being particularly useful, but we will talk about that a little bit later on. For now, we're just interested in the landing pages and exactly what I was talking about, this here, the coming soon mode. So let's set up a coming soon page. Now, the beauty of SeedProd is that we can do this with a template. We don't have to mess around trying to build this from scratch or anything like that. We can use any one of these templates here. There are loads of different options for different types of landing pages. So all we have to do is find one that we like. Personally, I quite like this one here. So we're just going to go ahead and choose that. Now, there's nothing here that we're actually stuck with. We can change and amend any of this to suit what we want. Like, for example, this text here, this is just there as placeholder, so we can put something in there that is specialist to us. Of course, we can change this text up here. We have the options for the social sharing buttons where we can add links so that people can go and find our social media. So this is all obviously much better than people finding an unfinished or incorrect website. Big one, of course, if you have this picture in the back, we can change this to whatever you want, something that suits your brand. Now, you can use your own images to do this, and obviously that would make sense, but if you don't have one, SeedProd has a really great library of stock images as well that we could use. So let's just search photography and see what comes up. Here we go, some really great pictures that might suit what my website is about. Let's, for example, try this one right here, and immediately it lines up and looks pretty fantastic. But of course, that means we might want to amend this text so that it pops out a little bit more. But the easiest way to do that is I can actually just dim the background of the actual background. There we go. So that now looks really, really nice. But similarly, we have this background here, which is still from the surfing. We can go ahead, we can amend that. It's really easy to start to change absolutely everything. But we don't want to get caught down in specifics today as to exactly what I'm going to do for my website. Let's just look at generally what you can do. We can come down to the little cog here, the global settings, where you're going to be able to change fonts that match up with your particular website. You're going to be able to select colors for various different things, your buttons. So let's, for example, say I wanted to change my buttons to red. I could absolutely do that. The other really important thing we want to look at here are the blocks. So this is where the beauty of the drag and drop builder comes into play. So you can start to add different images and buttons, various things like that. So if I wanted to add a video, I could do that. Let's just drop that in there. So I could have created an entire video just here to explain to people what is happening, maybe a promo video, and I could drop that in there really easily. Let's just remove that for a second. But my personal favorite, I must admit, is in the advanced section from SeedProd Pro, and that is the countdown. So I can just drag the countdown into here. And then I can come here and I can set it. So I've got how many hours, minutes, and seconds until the website goes live. I personally really enjoy this as an option. So it's there. It just adds a little bit of intrigue, and it also makes people feel like they're going to be able to be getting something very soon. There's no endless period of time. They know that it's going to be worth coming back. That's my thought process on it anyway. I really like the countdown. As you can see on this left hand side, loads and loads of options. There's a pricing table if you have products that you want to promote in advance. Really amazing options. So now I'm just going to play around with this for a little bit, just make it look how I want it to, and then I will meet you back over at the website where we're going to add this. Okay, so I've completed my coming soon page, which I'll show you in a second. But all we need to do now is just need to activate it. So it's just this little tab down here. So we've now activated coming soon mode, which means the page we've just designed is going to show up. So if I now go and click on preview, you'll be able to see exactly what it is. And here it is. Here is what I created. We still have that countdown. I've just changed the text. I've changed the fonts to match in with what the actual website looks like. So there's two fonts that I'm using here, and these two fonts I have replicated here just so that the whole branding matches in. We've got links out to my socials here. And essentially, anytime somebody now comes to my website, this is what they see. They're not running into an unfinished or incomplete or just incorrect website. We've also got my email set up in here so that people can enter their email to find out when the site goes live so that I can send them out information. And this is also going to be beneficial for when my website is live. I've started to build my email list all through spending a few minutes, not even, I'd say 10 minutes in total, creating a coming soon page and just flicking a tab to activate it. Now I can work behind the scenes on my website without any fear of any particular issues. However, what I'm also a little bit concerned about here is just how this template that I'm using maybe really isn't what I'm looking for, and I need something a little bit more personal. And a really great way to do that is to build your own theme. But that can take a huge amount of time, sometimes some expertise, maybe a little coding if you're that way inclined. But we want to skip all that and we want to do it as quickly as humanly possible. A really great way to do that is with the SeedProd AI Themes Builder. So you can get a completely custom theme for your website while using absolutely no code and very little actual knowledge is required. You can just drag and drop and make exactly what it is you are imagining.